Judge, this is a case of Cassidy's.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Miss Cassidy, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
We were married for several years, and he adopted my son from my first marriage, which meant my first husband relinquished all rights, and he doesn't want to take care of the child anymore now that we're divorced.
Okay, sir, is there a reason you don't want to take care of your son?
Well, he's not my son.
Well, yes, he is. You adopted him.
I thought I was in love with her. I just wanted to please her.
So you didn't really love the child at all, your son? Because he is your son, just so we're clear. You're not going to be able to say things like, it's not my child. You adopted this child legally. This is your child.
Well, he's not blood. He's her son. He's not my blood son. He's a redhead.
What does that have to do with anything, the color of his hair?
Kids.
What does the color of his hair have to do with anything?
I just always hated redheaded kids.
Okay. How did the two of you meet?
Well, I had been divorced several years, and I'm a father.
Judge Vonda Bailey wastes no time reminding the ex-husband of his responsibilities. You made a choice, she says firmly. You stood before a court, signed the papers, and took on the role of this child's father. You don't just get to walk away now. Miss Cassidy nods, clearly holding back emotion, but she's standing her ground. She recounts how her ex had once been a loving father, taking her son to games, helping with homework, and calling him his own. Until the divorce changed everything. The ex-husband tries to push back. I didn't think I'd have to keep paying child support for a kid that isn't mine, he argues. But Judge Bailey isn't budging. That child is yours, she fires back. The law doesn't make exceptions just because your feelings have changed. The room is silent. You can feel the weight of the judge's words sinking in.
Ma'am, I will give you your opportunity to speak in just a moment, okay? Go ahead, sir.
So my friends took me out to a club. I call them mammary clinics. Took me out to a mammary clinic for my birthday, and that's where I met her. And she strapped it to me, and I fell in love with her that night. And
you fell in love enough to adopt her son?
To marry her, because I thought I was in love with her.
Okay.
And so we got married, and she coaxed me into adopting her kid.
Okay, you adopted the child, and you're here today because she wants you to
pay child support.
Pay child support and take care of your child.
He's more of a ballerina than he is a boy.
What do you mean by a ballerina?
I don't want that kid. He's.
Sir, you adopted this child.
Well, let his own father adopt him back.
Wait a minute. His father terminated his rights, and you adopted this child.
Well, she can talk.
I'm not about to play this game with you, sir. Mr. Cassidy, we're not doing that today, okay? This is your child. You legally adopted the child, and you can be legally responsible for paying child support as well.
Well, his first dad gave up his rights. How come I can't give up my rights?
Well, you know what? We're not doing that today. Today, you're going to take care of this child, okay?
Okay, what?
And you're not going to give him up because he's a red.
Judge Vonda Bailey doesn't hesitate. You adopted this child, and that makes you his father, period. The ex-husband tries to argue, but Miss Cassidy cuts in. He was a dad when it was easy. Now he wants to walk away. The judge shakes her head. Parenting isn't temporary. You're responsible. Case closed.
No.
He don't fish.
Sir, Mr. Cassidy, how much money do you make a year?
Approximately 83.
83,000. And ma'am, now I'm to you. What does this mean, farmer?
I'd rather not go into detail.
Good.
Okay. $83,000 a year, and sir, you said, how many other children do you have?
I have two.
Two, okay. So you have 3 kids
They're
total.
not redheaded either.
Sir, the color of their hair should not affect whether or not you decide to be a father to those children versus your adopted son. You understand?
I understand.
Oh, okay, well, as long as you understand. I have your gross, yes ma'am.
I've dyed the little boy's hair now, so
What color is his hair now, ma'am?
His hair is the same color of his now.
And you all are aware that the color of this child's hair doesn't matter in terms of the financial responsibility, right?
I understand that, but he doesn't, so I'm just trying to make it to where he
I don't want
likes
to buy
his
his
son.
tutus for
You
the
know
rest
what?
of
It is
his life.
ridiculous. She even had to dye the child's hair to even make you receive any type of comfort, sir. That's ridiculous. Now, at $83,000 a year, I have your gross at $6,916.67.
Wow.
Who carries health insurance for this child?
I do.
How much is it for the child only?
$230 a month.
$230. Okay, sir, you're going to reimburse that to her monthly. Yes, you are. And your net comes out to $5,482.88.
Oh.
Yes. What? Do we need to call an ambulance? You okay? Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe an ambulance might help me.
Okay, well, right now I'm getting ready to help you with these numbers, okay?
Or a
Giving you
12
credit for
gauge.
the other children that you have. Your child support obligation is $808.72 plus the health insurance reimbursement of $230 a month. That makes your monthly obligation $1,038.72.
Okay, that's gonna.
Okay, and you can afford it. It's 83. You make $83,000, sir.
This case was a roller coaster from start to finish. Miss Cassidy tried to keep things light with her unexpected remarriage proposal, but Judge Vonda Bailey wasted no time getting back to the facts. With the ruling final, the ex-husband's reaction proved exactly why this case needed to happen. He was never going to take responsibility on his own. Now, whether he likes it or not, he's paying. But what a wild ride.
Well, there's a lot of overhead for farming.
Well, you know what?
Well-
Dye your hair red.
Well, that's not gonna help me pay my bills. That's
It
not gonna help me
might.
feed my cattle.
Well, you know what? You might want to choose some different alternatives.
Well, you gotta eat. That's where do you think your food comes from?
You grow my food?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I pay for it from you, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Well, guess what? You're going to continue to grow your food, and you're going to take care of this child, who's now the hair is dyed because you had a problem with the color of the child's hair. Ridiculous. Is there anything further here?
Yes, the last year that he hasn't paid, can he pay the back pay as well?
You know what? That is a great question. Are you asking for back pay today, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, unfortunately, you did not put that in your paperwork that you filed with the court.
Judge Vonda Bailey didn't just deliver a ruling, she delivered a lesson. By breaking down the legal responsibilities of step-parent adoption, she made it clear that parenting isn't something you can just walk away from when it's no longer convenient. Ending on an educational note was the perfect way to tie everything together. It reminded viewers that beyond the drama, these cases impact real children's futures. And after watching this, you'll think twice before underestimating the weight of family law.
As previously, I can't award it to you.
Okay.
So, monthly obligation. Listen,
Judge, there's another
you don't
option.
need all of that.
If he wants to come back and remarry me, we can do that. Then he won't have to worry about child support.
Well, that's an option.
I'm going back to my ex-wife.
That's an option.
I've got my other wife and kids. They're coming back. We're back
Just
together.
thought as long as he was
okay.
going back and forth, you know.
Oh, well, I'm glad to see you.
No going back.
Well, I'm glad to see that you moved on, and I'm glad to see that you're open to that possibility. But unfortunately, this is not reunification court.
Maybe she
This is
should go
child
back to
support
the
court.
memory clinic and go to
So,
work.
well, guess what? If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Want to give that to your wife? Maybe she'll have you comb your hair.
Get out here.